Alright guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Our 2013 Hilux got a few interesting things going on we thought we'd tell you about. Firstly, by now you should know we did the snorkel install and replaced this dodgy, because this was half missing, and obviously with the way these ARB commercial bull bar, without these side plates on there, it's kind of open like that, so whatever you hit goes up straight. You can see your intake, so that's where your problem was, if you know what I mean, because your intake, you know, you can see it, it's right there, and that's why if you've got a bull bar particularly like this dodgy setup, you need a snorkel. Okay, you have a good look at that if you like. You have a good sniff up there, you know, there you go, have a look, whatever. It's all good, it's all nice and tight, rock solid, sealed up and all that sort of thing. What we're doing here now is I've done 5,000 Ks since we've owned it, roughly, thereabouts, yeah, pretty close. And you can see a bit of grass in there from the paddock bashing there. We'll get that out while we're at it. Well, we'll try to anyway. Okay, that's out. Happy days. Now, one of the issues last time, if you've been watching the videos, in the playlist, our Hilux, or our 2013 Hilux, whatever it's called, something like that, our Hilux or our 2013 Hilux, we did an oil change, and I can tell you, this drain plug was super tight. There's no need to do that. It's just got to hold the oil in. So I noticed the plug was also damaged. I'm hoping the sump and the thread's going to be okay. We put a new washer on it, and I nipped it up by hand to what I thought was enough to keep the plug in and have no leaks, which we've been successful with that so far, but it's a bit of a concern. So I'm going to get the plug out. I've got a new one here on the bench. We've got the new one here ready to go with a new washer, and I'll get the other one out and I'll show you. I'll compare the pair and you can see how it pulls the threads. And this video is not just going to be about fixing this one and this oil change. We've found very similar damage on our automatic transmission pan. So I've been meaning to do a transmission oil flush since I've had it, but didn't get around to it. I did check the condition of the oil and it was quite red, so it led me to believe that somebody'd done it before, which is good. Now the problem we got is we took the plug out and it was super duper tight, and it didn't turn. Once you loosened it, it didn't turn by hand either. You had to use your tool to get it out, which is a really bad sign. So what this video is going to be more about is if you need to replace your engine sump, you know, the pan or whatever, because look, some of the systems on vehicles, you can re-tap them, you can helicoil them, that sort of thing. On these, I don't believe you can do that on either these Prado or Hilux or these transmission pans. There may be another way to do some repairs, so if you know something that works on these, what you've done, chuck it in the comments. I'm not really looking for a cheap way out. You know, we can put Teflon tape and all this sort of thing and stop it from leaking, but it's all dodgy and these plugs need to come out regularly. So yesterday we did the transmission flush. We noticed the problem. Well, we didn't do the flush. It came out pretty clean, but we refilled it. We put the 3 or 4 litres, whatever it was, set it back to level. I've driven it for about 50 Ks today, picking up some pick-up and drop-offs and stuff like that. And there was a little bit of oil around here, which is what I suspected may happen. Now, I just put it up on the hoist again, gave it a quick clean up with some brake cleaner, and blew it dry. And if you have a close look, you can see the wetness around the gasket. Now, I must say, we did both of my vehicles yesterday afternoon, evening, whatever, and I used my last 2 plugs on the transmission here. You replaced the little gasket, the last 2 gasket, and I don't have new plugs in stock on the 120, so therefore it left me with 0. So I used one of the ones off the 120 on this one, because the one that was on this one was an aftermarket solid washer, not a crush washer. So look, I can't remember the name of the place they were taking it to, but it was one of those reputable places in the southeast side of Melbourne that obviously isn't so reputable because they over tighten and that wrecks components. So this is going to stay like this for about another week. We'll monitor the situation. It's only a very slow, you know, you didn't even blow onto, in 50 Ks or so, maybe more, didn't even blow onto the cross member, but still not good. You can see the wetness up there, right? So that's why I cleaned it. It's been about 10 minutes since I cleaned it, so you can see what's going on. They've probably yanked on it that hard, they've bent the pan, and it's probably closing on an angle, which is why at this side, you don't see washer and it's sort of whatever, and this side is the side that it's wet and the washer's kind of sticking out. So whatever, right? We're just going to have to deal with it. The plug, this plug right here, absolutely butchered. So I've ordered a few more of those, plugs and washers and whatever. We'll have those in about a week, but let's get this plug out and see what it looks like, because it was looking pretty average last time I saw it. Okay, there it is, oil draining. Now, that came out a lot easier than last time. It was just a nice little crack it loose, take it out. It didn't come out by hand for the first turn, but with a fair bit of force with the hand, I got it to turn and got it out by hand, which is a good sign. You can see the washer's stuck up there. Once the oil's finished draining, we'll make sure we get that out. And this oil is still very clean, as much as you're looking how black it is for 5,000 Ks. Oil always looks black when it's coming out. I could refill it now and drain it, it'll be black again straight away. Don't judge by what's in the drain tray or what's coming out. Judge it by your dipstick and how clean inside your engine. Here's the plug on the bench, as you can see. Actually doesn't look as bad as what I remembered, but I'll give it a clean up. Let's have a look at them. Now for anyone watching, you want to know the part number for the gasket for the auto pan. You know, that's whether it's a 4-speed or a 5-speed. Same little gasket, same part number. That is the little gasket, not the plug. I may have some part numbers later in another video, so you know the deal. Subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss it. And I hope you liked me helping you out here with the info, so please press the like button. Compare the pair. They don't look too bad, do they? I mean, the new one's on the left. Yeah, look, it's hard for you to see, but if you get down here where I am, I don't know, might be right for you to see, I don't know. Yeah, look, it doesn't look too bad, but the proof's in the pudding, isn't what they say. So, what do you want me to do? Tip it up like that for you? That's the new one. Oh, sorry, I got the shakes a bit trying to keep it all steady. See, the thread's just not as sharp. It looks messy. The threads have been bent over from the over tightening, right? Bloody mess, just unnecessary, right? Totally unnecessary. So look, we'll get the new plug in after the oil's drained. Let's have a look at the oil pickup, see if it's all clear. Of course it's all clear. It's already had injectors in and out of it that many times. It'll feel like it's, you know, we won't go there. Anyway, we're going to put another fresh set of injectors in it soon anyway, because that 170,000 K set, noisier than I thought they would have been. I'm just not happy with those. So when people come in and say, oh, you know, it's running well, it's running quiet, we've just got to be really careful about that, because this one, it's running very readily when it's cold, and it's got some real clacks going on, which you probably wouldn't normally notice, particularly in a Prado because of the insulation. Be careful with the Prados, with the extra insulation, they do hide a lot of the noise. Let's go check the oil pickup anyway. You gotta love the oil change on the Hilux compared to the Prado, don't you? Where it leaks all over the cross member here. So this is where all the Prado owners are happy. But you can see that oil pickup, you can see enough through there. Just there like that, see that? Yep. You can see it's beautiful. And the engine's never had blow-by, so it's gonna be beautiful. And that's the way you wanna be. Now, just trying to see if we can see anything in those threads there. Basically the way it's made is, it's not a thick piece of material where it's threaded. It's kind of like, how do I explain it? It's just thin. There's nothing to re-tap and helicoil, and well, maybe you could, but I'm not confident. I wouldn't do it. There is thread repair guys that I don't know how they'd go with these ones though. I'm not the expert on it, right? And I'm lucky because I don't see these bloody issues. I've got to tell you, this one's one of the worst one I've had, and there's my vehicles, there's a lot of worst one I've had stories with them, and that's good because, you know, we fix it all up in the end. It's all great, but that's what we need to see. We need to see the worst of everything. So we're going to get that washer off and get the new plug in, and I'll let you know how it went. Okay, so there it is. We've just given it a quick clean up. So this is what happened. Yeah, it was a little bit difficult to turn in, so the thread on the sump must be slightly damaged, pulled out of place type thing. Not a big deal, I don't think. It's not ideal, but not a big deal. What we'll do, I put 34 Newton meters on it. That's the specification. It went well. I don't think it's going to leak. It felt normal as it tightened up, and everything felt good. It didn't feel like it was about to strip out or anything, so it's all good as far as I'm concerned. So every oil change, this one will, actually I might not put a new washer every oil change, I was going to, but it's going to have regular new washers, and it's going to get the 34 Newton meters every time, because we know that's what works. There's going to be no question about it being a bit loose at 28 or a bit tight at 38. It's 34 bang on every time. We wouldn't normally have to do that, but because it's compromised is the word. There you go, I got one for once. It's compromised until we've done at least 10 oil changes and we get confident again with it. When the plug's been in and out a number of times without being over tightened, it may come good from, you can see wear in and out, wear and tear, natural movement in and out with lubrication. Let's have a final look at the other one. just to see in about, what's it been, 20 minutes, half an hour, somewhere around there, I'd estimate. You can see the wetness around it, so it's a real thing that is leaking. We could RTV it up, but it's not bad enough that we need to do that. We're not desperate to drive, so we'll just roll with it like that, use it minimal until we get the replacement plug and washer for this one, because the plug is the big problem. Either the washer or the plug could solve the problem, but of course both is best. And let's hope that the sump on this auto pan is decent, because if it goes to the, and look, torque specification, to be quite honest, I can't remember because I don't like it. That's what I do remember. Every time I look this one up, and it's something like 20 Newton meters, and I go to do the 20, I go, oh no, it just doesn't feel right. I already know long before there that washer's crushed and sealed. So there's something wrong with the torque specification there. Anybody want to look it up, go ahead, put it in the comments. I reckon that it should be around the maybe 10 to 13, 15 maximum, in my opinion. What I might do when I put the new plug in, I may or may not, I'll do it by hand for what I think feels right in general, in consideration of the damage. Let's have a really good look at the thread on this one. That'll be in another video. So like I said, subscribe, turn the bell on. All we got to do now, obviously, from this point is lower the vehicle and put the 7 point a little bit litres of oil in. I find it's a little bit over 7, to be quite honest, but maybe less with this one because I didn't give it a massive drain. It's just the 5,000k in between oil change. You don't need to change the filter. It's just a waste of a filter. They're good for 10,000 miles or longer. So 5,000k's is about 3,000 miles. So if you're changing your filter at 5,000, you're just wasteful. Had a bit of a look around. There's nothing to see here. Boring, boring, boring. That's a video. I just wanted to show you solutions with problems. And under here, if you've been watching, this one looks all good. I'm happy with that. Thanks for watching. Please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, turn the bell on. Catch you on the next one. See ya. One last thing before we go. There's the old washer. So you see the old plug. We'll keep that as a spare for whatever reason in case we find one that's worse. You can see even the outside, it's a bit, you know, it's not too bad, but it's not, you know, one day you won't be able to buy them and they'll be worse. But I just wanted to show you that washer. That was brand new when we put it on last time. That's what they should look like when they've been used normally and not over tightened. They will get oil soaked, the blue section. There's nothing wrong with that. You could use it again, but we've put a new one on. See you guys.